Hyssop, Hyssopus officinalis, in the family Lamiaceae, the mint family. Hardy to zones 5 to 10. This is a woody, perennial, evergreen subshrub, native to the Mediterranean, and one of the more northern hardy of the Mediterranean plants. This is a classic herb used in traditional Western medicine, in knot gardens, for low hedging. It can be shaped, and as you see, it's quite lovely in flower. Of course, a person isn't supposed to take botanical photos at 5:30 in the afternoon in the middle of July in Southern Oregon. My apologies to Stephen Foster, my plant photography guru. I just wanted to show you these bees that are on this thing. It's feeding all of our bee friends and all the native pollinators with so much nectar. What an amazing plant. The smell is nectarific as well. In fact, there's nothing about the aroma of hyssop that is anything less than completely unique. It's one of my favorite herbal smells for certain, and I wish I could do a scratch and sniff on the aroma of these hyssop flowers for you, but you'll just have to grow some, and then you'll know what I'm talking about. The herb is used as a tincture of the fresh or dried herb. Both are equally useful. The tea of the dried herb, and by the herb what I mean is basically picked at this time or slightly sooner, and hung and dried and then stripped. The herb in early flower is what I'm talking about. You can use the tea of the dried herb. You can make a cough syrup out of it. The fresh tops can be made into sunny honey, and the way you do that is you strip those fresh flowers off the stems, and then you go ahead and put that in a pint jar and smash the herb down into the jar, and then cover it with good quality honey, and then put a cheesecloth over the top with tie it off with a string so that nothing can get in, but the plant water can get out, and then you put it in the sun on the windowsill, or you can even put it outside, and it'll digest that way, and the essence of the hyssop will go into that honey, and then that can be taken by the tablespoonful for treating the common cold. The plant promotes the elimination of toxins through sweat and urine. It's a stimulating expectorant used in traditional Western medicine. It's good for treating coughs and sore throat or any kind of upper respiratory infection. It's also good for treating a urinary infection because it stimulates copious urination. It's good for treating any kind of congested conditions. You can even take a hot bath and put some dried hyssop in a large tea bag and put that into the hot water while the hot water is running into the bath, and then as long as it's not too hot, get in, and you will definitely begin to sweat. It has this definite diuretic effect, and you can even sip on some hyssop tea at the same time as you're taking your bath, and that will just really augment the effects. So that kind of sweats the cold right out of you now, doesn't it? Then you get out of the bath and you wrap yourself up in a sheet and go lie down in bed, and you'll sweat and sweat, and then the next day you'll be a lot better. Sweet dreams, and then the next day much better. Well, the plant prefers full sun, as you can see. Regular garden soil is fine. It doesn't really need much of a nutrient structure in the soil, and you simply sow the seed in the spring in flats, If you scarify the seeds slightly, like by rubbing it on our number 7 or number 8 seed cleaning screen that we sell through strictlymedicinalseeds.com, then that will wake it up and make it germinate all the more quickly. I love growing hyssop in the greenhouse, in the early spring greenhouse, and you sprinkle the seed in there, you barely cover it, you tamp it down well, you keep it evenly moist, and it germinates so nicely in a week or 10 days, and then you can just nurture those little seedlings along. And you want to give them plenty of space to grow too, because they tend to get kind of rough looking if they stop growing. So you grow them along, and if they get leggy before it's time to transplant them out, you just snip the top off, and that creates more basal growth, and then you plant those plants out to the field or to the garden at 2-foot spacing, and you can see the results. I mean, it's just incredible the way it takes off and feeds all the local butterflies and bees, and it's a nectarific plant if ever there was one. Grow some hyssop. It'll make you feel good.